Hey everyone, we're back. This is Jesse with The Whole Lifestyle, and I got a special friend and guest, Chris Kendall, today.
I'm so stoked to be here, Jesse. Thanks for having me on your channel, man.
Yeah, he's with a Raw Advantage, and he's been doing raw vegan for a long time, and he's an amazing bodybuilder too. So I wanted to talk about that because I got so many people writing me, emailing me, and saying, oh, the vegans, can't build muscle and be strong. And then they say what's even worse is that the raw vegans are even worse, and they're like in bad shape. But you guys got to meet Chris.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I'm stoked to be here, and I'm building my body. I don't say I qualify as a bodybuilder, truthfully, but I've been on a raw vegan diet for 15 years. I've never been really consistent in the gym, but last year I was in a near life-ending motorcycle accident, and I really got to a low body weight of like 160. And the last 6 months I've become much more consistent in the gym, and I've become almost addicted to it. I love the feeling of it. It feels so good. There's so many benefits to strength training, and real strength and size is made in the gym. It's not in the kitchen. Like our diet can definitely highly impact the quality of muscle we're putting on. It can definitely impact the quality of recovery we have. But ultimately, if you want to build size, if you want to get definition, all those things, you got to work out, and you got to work out hard. You got to go for it. So I've been doing that a lot lately, and I've been really pleased with the results. I'll share with you some before and after pictures too, so you can actually see those before and after pictures. And I'm really excited to actually build a lot more muscle. I agree, man. It's crazy. There's people saying that you can't do it, but there's many examples. And I mean, you even look out to nature and you look at like gorillas and and our closest living relatives like chimpanzees and bonobo monkeys, and they're freaking ripped. They rip your arm off. And what are they doing? What are they eating?
Fruit. They're eating enough calories. They're eating greens also, and they're just out there moving around and getting their fitness in.
Absolutely.
And this is the biggest thing. You got to be consistent with your fitness, and you got to find something that makes you happy. Because I've been hitting the gym here. I don't have a gym back home in our small little town, and I actually want to build a gym now because I've been hitting the gym every day with Chris and everybody, and it's so much fun. And after you do it for like 3, 4, 5 days in a row, you just get this endorphin hit, and like you want to be in there. So I'm even going like twice. I'm overdoing it.
It is a fine balance for sure, and you want to make sure that you're recovering well, and that you go and get it all set up so you have a really good routine. And it's good to eat soon afterwards so you replenish the glycogen, and so you can really get that benefit from the food, sink it back into your muscles. But it's not rocket science. There's a lot of information out there. Some information is pretty poor, especially from places that require people to buy lots of protein powders and all this stuff. I think it's really important to note that your protein needs go up a little bit when you work out really hard, but your caloric needs go up as well because you're exercising, you're moving a lot. So if you're eating a lot of fruit and lots of vegetables, we both recommend a lot of vegetables, some nuts and seeds, and you work out hard, thus increasing your caloric needs. If you eat more of those things, you're getting more protein naturally, right? And I mean, if you're really concerned about it, sure, add a bit more vegetables, or if you want to add some sprouted lentils or something, stuff like that to get even more protein. Nothing wrong with that. I love those.
Sprouted lentils are amazing if you let them get long tails. So what do you think about like intermittent fasting, or should we be having like 3 meals a day? What would you recommend?
I think it's really important to honor your own self, your own digestion, and your own needs. There isn't one size fits all for everyone in every situation. If you're new to this lifestyle and you're already having a hard time getting enough calories, then it can be even more challenging to all of a sudden short your window into like 6 hours or 4 hours or even 8 hours. For most people, 8 to 12 hour window is pretty darn good to get in all your calories. And I find most people when they start the diet that anywhere between 3 to 5 meals a day is almost necessary to get enough calories in, to be able to digest enough fruit and get a lot of greens in. But invariably I find as people have been doing the lifestyle more, their digestion improves, they can eat larger meals, and if they want then, like I normally eat 2 to 3 meals a day, and I usually have like a 6 to 9 hour window depending if I'm eating 3 meals or 2 meals, right? And there's definitely science and there's definitely research suggesting that the shorter your window, the more human growth hormone that is secreted. So that can help specifically with building muscle. But I wouldn't race to that. Instead, I'd honor yourself and get your digestion right. Get used to eating enough fruits and vegetables so you can sustain yourself and slowly make gains. And as your digestion improves, if that's really a focus, muscle, then you might want to shorten that window a little bit, because that gives your body a lot more time for recovery and for that human growth factor as well.
Yeah, so what do you think about sleep? I think a big one is people are missing sleep. So if you do all this exercise, you eat all this food, but you're not going to bed like much or sleeping good, this is, I think, a big factor.
Absolutely. You know, we've been out here at the UK Fruit Festival, and it's been so busy, and there's been so many people. I feel a greater need to go connect with people than to go work out. And because of that, I've been sleeping a little bit less, you know, because I'm trying to do my consults at the end of the day and all these other things. And because of that, I've worked out less, because I know how important sleep is for recovery. If you're not getting your 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep, maybe even more if you're really training hard, you're not going to fully recover. And I know I've coached people, and other people like Dr. Doug Graham has coached a lot of athletes, and really seen those people looking for gains, those people that are in the gym pushing it super hard. They might need 10 plus hours of sleep. If you're an endurance athlete and you're getting out there all the time, you're going to need a lot of sleep. And it's like, if you wake up in the morning and you'd rather roll over than get out of bed, you roll over if you can. And if you can't because of time restraints, go to bed earlier, because every hour before midnight acts like two, as they often say. Whether that's exact or not, you definitely notice it. And sleep is highly underrated. You really need it for recovery, and that's when your muscles are actually repairing and growing. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, and for healing the body, if you have any health conditions or you want to get younger or be healthier, definitely more sleep. I recommend like an hour more of sleep for everyone across the board to get that, and watch out how late you go to bed. This is like the key for everything. One of the biggest keys I could say for everything in life is that sleep.
Look at cats, look at babies. I mean, we're not cats, but they're really active, really powerful. They sleep a heck of a lot. But babies, they're in their fastest growing stage as a youth, and they're sleeping like 20 hours a day sometimes, right? They're sleeping a lot. Now, I'm not saying we're babies, but I'm saying if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to really push yourself hard and you need that recovery, you need more sleep. And in general, if you're waking up and tired and you're reaching for coffee or any stimulants, whether that's cacao or coffee or something else, more sleep really helps. It's a missing link for so many people.
Do you take any supplements at all?
I've been taking B12 just the last about 4 years, and after my accident, when I was unable to get out into the sun for more than a little bit, I couldn't really leave the bed, and it was already midsummer. I started taking a vitamin D3 to make sure that I was getting enough, because that's so important with bone health and bone growth.
Especially being up north in Canada.
Up north in Canada, exactly. And I knew I was going to be stuck all winter in Canada too, without being outside very much. So I took that. But after February, I went to Costa Rica. I was in the sun a bunch, and I don't plan to take that again, because normally I'm out in the sun a bunch anyway. So those are the only two that I really take.
Nice. Would you like to share any of your workout routine, kind of how you do it? Any tips there you can share with someone who's just getting into that?
Absolutely. So, the way I've typically been doing it is splitting it up into 2 different major muscle groups and doing compound exercises. So, for example, I might be doing chest and shoulders, so I'd be doing overhead presses, and be doing bench presses, and doing a bit of pec deck, and doing pull-ups. So I'm getting both the push and pull motions for each muscle group. Then maybe the next day I'm doing back, so I'm doing some lat pulls and stuff like that. And then I also have a leg and abs day. So I switch it up that way so they're a little bit different. I know other people who like to do a full body routine every second day. Right now I'm really in a building stage, so I'm doing 3 different workouts with those 2 different muscle groups, doing the push-pull motions, and then I take a day off, and then I do those 3 days again. So I only have 1 day off a week, which is pretty intensive training. But again, from the accident, I'm trying to really build my strength, build my size, and build that stabilization so that I can heal from past injuries as well. So in the future, I'll probably actually back off that and do more 4 days a week and split it up a little bit differently. But I would really recommend too, if you can't find a gym, you can utilize body weight exercises and different points of leverage and angles. Calisthenics. There's this really good book that I recommend. I'm not an affiliate or anything, but I found it really useful. It's the First Convict Conditioning book, You can work out like, even 15 minutes a day every day with it and gain some really good size, and otherwise get some help in the gym and make sure you're doing things right so that you don't injure yourself. Get an instructor and just go over some of the basics, like some of the most basic things. If you're doing like, some chin-ups and some bench press and some squats and some deadlifts and maybe some overhead presses, like those 5 exercises, they work almost everything in your body. They're intense because they work multiple muscle groups, which in part also helps you release more human growth hormone. And that helps you build muscle faster and make you stronger and more well-rounded with your fitness. So you're not just isolating one muscle on a machine that can actually lead you to causing more injury than otherwise.
Definitely. And I think also to focus on the legs, because if we just focus on the upper body, we get out of balance. So lots of squats. Yoga like you do.
Yoga's great. Yeah, absolutely. I've been practicing yoga 20 years and it's a great complement. Any kind of flexibility training and mobility training is super important, and balance too. You don't want to just become myopic on one aspect like strength or size, at least in terms of creating the best overall health and fitness. It's a whole package. All those things are really important.
Slackline is really good too. So if you want to work on your balance, you just find 2 trees and you buy this slackline and you can balance and walk across this. What else? I bought like Olympic rings recently. I don't know if you use those.
Yeah, actually I have them in my basement, and I like to hang. I love inversion therapy. There's so many aspects, and with Olympic rings, you just build all those little stabilizers.
I know, it's so intense at first.
You can do entire ring workouts, and that's the fun thing about working out. There's so many ways to do it, and it's just about challenging yourself regularly, eating enough to supply the demand, and then getting an adequate recovery. And if you're consistent with that,
that's it.
And you change it up, you do a bunch of different things, then you're going to create the most well-rounded fitness. And it's not necessarily about being the biggest, strongest ever, but it's about being really functionally fit and healthy and less injury prone. That's to me what it's all about.
Yeah, nice. Anything else you want to add on working out, or?
I think the biggest thing about working out is just making it fun. Like challenging yourself and doing things, trying new exercises out. If the gym isn't your thing, then try rock climbing, or try the calisthenics, or do an activity that requires you to do a lot of activity, but it isn't. Like I love skateboarding. I skateboard till I'm gonna drop, and that definitely builds a lot of strength in my knees and my ankles and a whole bunch of ways. So it's just about play. It's finding the workouts that challenge you, but you want to continue doing them. Change it up, try different stuff, and if you require it, then of course ask for assistance and get coaching, or someone to spot if you need it. All those kinds of things are really important.
Yeah, you got to find the sports that you love. Do something. I mean, even if it's dancing, if you're so sedentary and you just start dancing to your favorite music, this will start building you up and getting you moving, and then you can move into weights or bike riding or surfing or whatever it is. But just move. That's one of the missing pieces in this whole lifestyle, is to get movement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so I'm going to ask you some trick questions here.
All right.
What's your favorite fruit?
Well, the longer answer is whatever is perfectly ripe in season in my hand. I love so many different fruits, and if I really had to try and pin it down to one, I'll say 3. It might be mango, tomato, or cherimoya. Those are like, and there's so many others that now we're just like, hey, what about me? Like there's so many. I love them all.
I know.
Those. Oh gosh. A perfectly ripe cherimoya, oh my god, and like an amazing mango, but then an amazing heirloom tomato, but then jackfruit, but then dirt. Like, we're just so lucky we don't have to choose one.
I know.
The seasons continually bless us.
Yeah, I encourage you guys to go out there and try new fruits. Go to some tropical place like Thailand or something and try different fruits. There's so many things out there that most people haven't even tried. I had a client once that didn't know what a peach was.
No, that's wild. That's
sad.
Wild. Yeah,
sad.
I've met people who don't know where a carrot comes from. Or like it's kind of scary. I mean, come out to Costa Rica for one of my raw food adventure retreats, right? You can try a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. How about, what's your favorite green?
It does change sometimes, but I'd say my most long-standing favorite green over the last probably 7+ years would either be bok choy or napa cabbage. I love both of those a ton. They're super nutrient dense, super high in protein, really savory, You know, they don't have like a oxalic acid content or anything like that, so they're a great staple green. They're inexpensive, you know, available year-round almost anywhere. I can chop up the bok choy stem into like chunks, you know, or I can blend it into a sauce, you know, so I love those a lot. And I mean, otherwise, like I love a lot of different ones. Like I love romaine and Boston and Bib and butter and, you know, iceberg. I love iceberg and celery, and I love wild edibles, you know, like lamb's quarters and dandelions, and I love arugula. I love greens.
Nice.
I love greens. They're good,
Yeah.
you know.
So yeah, do you think greens are important?
Hugely important. Absolutely. You
How
know.
important?
I mean, I think if you're not eating a substantial quantity of greens, then you're really missing out, and you're setting yourself up for potential issues in the long run, for sure. You know, I mean, I think they're critical long term in a raw food diet, and it's not just a little rabbit share, just a little nibble here. You know, it's like a big salad, or blending a bunch of greens into a sauce, or pulsing them into a sauce, or into a smoothie. And the more ways you can enjoy greens, the better. So I love them in green smoothies. I love them in salads. I love them in stews. I love them in curries. I love them as juices. I love even like barley grass juice powder, like as a powder.
Yeah.
All these ways to get greens in. I like wild edibles. You know, I pick up some grass, chew it up, as long as it's not sprayed, chew it up and spit out the fiber, but get the juice from it.
Yes.
Greens are incredibly important, so mineral dense, higher in fatty acids, an amazing omega-3 balance, higher in protein.
Yeah.
You know, we look out to nature, we look out to the animals the closest to us, and what do? They eat a lot of greens too, you know?
Yes,
so,
Chris is on the right side, balanced. I'm looking for balanced raw vegans out there, because this is the thing, we have to balance the fruits, the veggies, and have lots of greens and have a little bit of fat and find that balance. I always tell my clients, if you look outside, what the heck color do you see the most of?
Lots of green, and that's the
green.
heart opener too.
Yeah.
They're huge heart openers, connecting with source, connecting with love, compassion. I think it's just an integral part of the diet.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
is. Yeah. So do you have one big tip that you would recommend to like a newbie, somebody who's starting the raw food diet? Some big tip?
Yeah, you know, focus on self-love. We're doing this lifestyle, we're doing this diet so we can be healthier, happier, and more connected to ourselves, so we can serve others with that abundance. And it starts with feeding yourself really good food and forming an amazing relationship with it. So eating the foods you enjoy the absolute most, the foods that just make your mouth water and make you sing, and being really honest with yourself with what you want and what you don't want, and growing through that, you know, not labeling things bad, right, good, wrong, but choosing the foods you enjoy and growing through that. So I hope that really helps.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'm afraid we're gonna have to go, guys, so thank you so much, Chris, for coming on the channel.
Absolute
How
pleasure,
can
brother.
everybody get a hold of you?
Oh, you can find me at TheWholeLifestyle.com, TheWholeLifestyle on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, you know, Snapchat, wherever, but my main hub is TheWholeLifestyle.com, I guess YouTube as well, and then I put all my videos from YouTube on TheWholeLifestyle.com.
Perfect. All right, guys, we're gonna have Chris's links down in the description below. Thank you for checking out this, and keep eating those fresh fruits, greens, and veggies, and have the best life ever. I'll see you on the next video.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess. Oh, it didn't film.
What?
I'm joking.